Hey everyone, Ryan Lilly here with Old Town. I'm with my friend and colleague Brian Hill, who is the mastermind behind the all-new Old Town Sportsman PDL 120 Pro and ePDL 120 Pro. One of the most frequently requested feature upgrades that we had on this platform was a nice, clean, and easy way to install a bow-mounted trolling motor. So Brian worked real hard to redesign the bow of this boat to have a 4-hole pattern and through-hull wiring, as well as through-hull wiring ports throughout the whole thing. But out in the back is an access hatch so that we can cleanly run power from the bow to the stern and install without having to drill any holes in this kayak. So this video is to show you how to mount a bow-mounted trolling motor on the all-new Old Town Sportsman PDL 120 Pro. I'm excited because Minn Kota just announced and came out with this kayak-specific bow-mounted trolling motor. So we're gonna install it today.
Behind the scenes, we have mounted off the quick release kit, the plate to the motor itself. So of course you can see on the underside, mounted the plate using the included hardware. I think the next one is to mount the, I don't know if it's a proper term, we're calling it the puck, to the 4-bolt pattern that we have included on the kayak. So you can use screwdriver, power drill.
And Brian, from an engineering standpoint, is it safe for customers to use a power drill when interfacing with our inserts on board the kayak?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there is, some personal preference. For this, I mean, it was nylon. I didn't want to strip it. I would say, definitely start with a screwdriver or hand start them so that when you do start tightening with the drill, you reduce that risk of cross-threading.
And don't overkill it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, installed.
So we can show how easy it is to install, especially with the quick release. Simply locate it and then drop in your securing bar. And put your cotter pin in. And all the instructions for this are included in the Minn Kota plate itself. And just like that, you have your drive mounted to your boat.
That was a matter of 2 minutes.
Just 2 minutes. And again, Same thing, taking it off, just reverse, pull it out. Motor's off, easy for transport. Or say you're doing a tournament where you can't have motorization, you can swap it out that quickly.
All right, so we've got the motor out of the way. Now that we've got the puck installed and the quick release kit for the motors installed on the motor, we wanted to remove it so we can show you what we're gonna do to run power. But before we run power, I want Brian to talk about the redesigned through-hull wiring kits. We've got one in the bow, 2 in the cockpit, and 1 out back in the stern. And we do have one up front here if you do want to run a transducer below the kayak to the transducer plate below the kayak. So we have 5 total on board. But can you talk about what you did with this redesign?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what really kind of drove this is, the plugs, especially on the transducers, there's more technology going into these scopes and things. And the plugs were getting larger. So with this new one debuting on this 120 PDL Pro and ePDL Pro, is our new large through-hole wiring kit. Consists of a gasket and a bezel. On the back of the gasket, there's 5 different size holes. Find which holes are closest to the wires that you're trying to run through, and then really just kind of you just have to split the
With a knife.
With the knife. Yes. In this case, we will be using actually the largest and then the second largest cable for this, or holes for it. I like to, when I slit it, I like to go kind of perpendicular to the edges, just to give a better success. You just need to kind of get into the cutout hole there, and we'll do the same for the second. All right. And there you have it. I mean, that's all you really need to do for modifying the gasket.
So now that you've showed us how the gasket works, why don't we run power to this thing?
Awesome. So kind of cheating a bit, we had a second set already, but before you slit the gasket, of course, you need to remove it. So we're just going to swap these out. So now that we have this location open, we will go to the stern to open up this back one. Again, these are all just, you could use a drill, you could use just a handheld screwdriver. We recommend locating the battery and the stern just to help with trim.
Another great feature that you designed into this is a dedicated spot for that battery to live in the stern tank well. We've got 2 aluminum bars back here that allow you to mount an Old Town battery box to the floor. So if you do tip over, it stays with the kayak, and it, like you said, it trims your boat. What do folks need to do, and what have you done to kind of make the work quick for this video in terms of battery cable?
So yeah, I mean, certainly number one is sourcing the correct size cable. Minn Kota's website has a good resource for determining what size cable you need. In this case, we are running a 6 gauge wire, and we have already determined the length and soldered on the electrical connectors on one end, installed the plug on the other end.
Yeah.
So we'll start from the stern. Certainly a good one with the new 120 is the ample access to the interior. So we're able to access it from the stern, midship, and of course the bow. This is a battery trim now. So Ryan will just kind of catch that.
I think it's through, so I'm gonna go grab it out of the bow.
Okay.
Yep, here it is, Brian.
On the stern end, we put the bezel on before we put the connector on. That's certainly important to do. It's not a end of the world if you do the opposite. These can be removed afterwards, but best case, you do it the first time. Of course, these just need to be hand tight. Okay, go up to the bow. And a tip on this one is making sure that the wires come in kind of the outboard side of the rod tubes. It just makes coming through this hole a whole lot much more direct instead of coming in at an angle. So we'll take the gasket that we just modified, and we will just kind of split it over the wires. And drop the bezel on.
I'm just impressed at how quickly this went. It's,
yeah.
I mean, we did cheat it a little bit and pre-cut the wire before the video, but it doesn't take that long. And it was really simple. I mean, before in some of my builds, it's a lot harder to get into the hull to run a wire, and it's getting caught around scuppers, and you have to get a fish tape or some sort of contraption to fish wires through. I mean, it was a matter of guiding it through the middle hatch and pushing it up through as you're pushing it, and I was able to grab it from the bow and run it through that hole in a matter of minutes. Next step, is it to add the end of the plug?
Yeah, we should be ready to add that on.
There you go.
So of course, if you're using this plug or another plug, follow the directions included with that. And also make sure you get the polarity right. Cool. This is our standard Old Town battery box. So really all you need to do is, if you do use this, chop that off. Of course, peel off the connector, any type of heat shrink that might have been on it, and simply strip back the wire, solder it, add your own connector. Of course, make sure the connectors are rated to what the motor that you are adding to it can handle. Which,
if you follow this process and use the same items that we're using in this video, we'll link the items in the description below, but you will know, rest assured, that these parts that we're using on this build are Minn Kota parts and are compatible with not only the power source we're using, but with the new Minn Kota Kayak Terrova.
Yeah. Yeah. And then past that, I mean, it's certainly hook up your battery. And we'll strap it in.
What works really well for the tabs and securing your battery is I pre-cut this cam strap to fit around the battery box. So I'm going to run the cam strap through these two bars before laying the battery down. All right, now it's ready to roll. Now we can move that battery box into position, pull that cam strap up over the box, secure that battery box down to the floor.
So now that we have the battery mounted, we'll go and just mount the drive again, and we can hook it up.
Great. Now that that's installed, I'll plug in the drive first, making sure I'm going positive to positive, negative to negative. That's connected. Now I'm safe to go and connect the battery to the power cable out back. So Brian, that took us all of 10 minutes to install this motor. Now for this particular situation, you might want to consider buying an aftermarket stow and deploy cord, which Minn Kota also sells, so that you can stow and deploy this motor while out in the water without having to get out on the nose of your kayak. And the new kayak motor does come with a mini remote. And there you have it. You've got a pedal kayak with a bow-mounted GPS spot lock motor. So you've got the best of both worlds of having a pedal kayak with also having the ability to have a spot lock motor installed. So there you have it, folks. It's super easy to install aftermarket accessories on the new Old Town Sportsman PDL or ePDL 120 Pro. We will link all of the items that we used, like the plugs and the plates, in the description of this video below. And if you have any questions, we can help you in any way. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can reach us at oldtownwatercraft.com.